This is how much YouTube pays creators on average for 1,000 views. And this is the low end of the range, and that's the high end of the range. But we're gonna show you how you can become one of the top earners on YouTube, so stick around.
Now that is quite a range, and $55.94 sounds like a lot, but we actually make over $250 per 1,000 views because we have other methods that aren't just with the ads. That $55 range in our data set is just from YouTube ads. So we're gonna talk later in the video about how we do that.
Okay, let's just talk about other ways you can make more money with YouTube ads. The first one is just to be in a niche that is high RPM. That's revenue per milli or revenue per 1,000 views. So an example of this would be the finance niche. It's pretty well known on YouTube that finance YouTubers typically make more per 1,000 views than anybody else.
It's crazy when we're going through our data set and like all the really high earners you look over and yep, the niche is finance. But I think even if like your end game with YouTube is just to make money and you're not super passionate about anything creative, you're just trying to make that money, I wouldn't suggest you go into the finance niche unless you are truly like a finance nerd and super passionate about it, because there are so many better ways to monetize. And if you're getting low views, it's not gonna make you a lot of money anyway. So don't think that finance is necessarily the most lucrative niche. It truly isn't.
So that brings us to low RPM niches, which a lot of niches on YouTube are lower RPM. The trick here is with some of these lower RPM niches, if you can end up getting higher views in these niches, then it all balances out. You don't have to be in a niche that gets these high RPMs. You just need to get more views, and in a less competitive niche, you are way more likely to be able to do that.
Now, longer videos are another great way to get more ad revenue, but you have to be really careful. They have to be high quality, because if you don't also get that watch time, if people are dropping off, it's not gonna do you any good to have a really long video because you aren't gonna get any views and you aren't gonna get any ad revenue.
Okay, here's a little secret for you. YouTube won't even put mid-roll ads on your video if it's not at least 8 minutes long. So some of you might be thinking, oh, 5 or 6 minute video, that's a long video for me. Well, hate to tell you, but you need to make at least 8 minute long videos so that you can get those sweet mid-roll ads. All right, we promised you guys that we were gonna tell you about these other monetization types that could make you hundreds of dollars per 1,000 views on YouTube. We actually just made a video about that, and in that video, we talked about why we love it so much.
A lot of people in our data set were making so much money that they are starting to replace their full-time income, and that is with less than 500 subscribers. These are little channels making the big bucks.
Let's show you guys a few other channels now and their actual earnings on YouTube. We collected a ton of data from a bunch of different channels. We're gonna link to our data set down in the description if you wanna take a look at every single channel we looked at. And now a 10-second word from our sponsors.
Which is us, channel makers. So we have an entire program called Project 24, which will take you from start to finish building your YouTube channel. It's an entire system, but we also have things like masterminds, podcasts. We have mini courses on things like monetization, these other methods we talked about. So check it out in the description below and we'll see you in there.
Perfect, back to the video.
Okay, the first one is Taylor Bell, and she is kind of like a lifestyle channel. She's doing pretty well. She's making $9.13 on average RPM, and this is from her first YouTube paycheck. So she's doing pretty well, and she actually has grown a lot since then, but that's just one example of kind of the quality and earning potential.
Yeah. Another one, Graham Stephan in the finance niche, making $15.59 per 1,000 views. Another channel, Joshua Mayo in the minimalism niche. He's only making just over $3.50 per 1,000 views. And I think this just goes to show that there's such a wide range of earnings on YouTube with YouTube ads. And what this tells us is that you need to find a way to make money in other places. And that's why some of these other earning strategies that we talk about are our favorites, because they have so much more potential.
Yeah, you can kind of figure it out intuitively sometimes, like if you're in gaming or something that would have really broad appeal with kids, you're not gonna make a lot because there's restrictions on it. And even aside from the restrictions, even if you have ads on the videos, kids don't buy a lot of stuff. So companies aren't going to spend a lot on ads for those channels. And minimalism kind of makes sense. Minimalists are usually pretty frugal. It doesn't mean to change your niche. Like if you are really excited about your niche, you can do some of these other methods that we talked about.
All right, now let's take a look at our channel, the Income School YouTube channel. This channel gets an RPM of $6.93, which is decent, but not anything out of the ordinary, right? But take into account the other types of monetization that we've implemented on this channel. And like Julia said at the beginning of the video, we are making over $250 per 1,000 views on YouTube. And we're doing that through info products. This is a way that many YouTubers monetize their channels. It's not the only way to monetize your channel, but it's one that works so well. So there you have it. If you're ready to go learn about these other types of monetization that we love so much, go check out this video if you want to learn about these other types of monetization. And if you're really ready to get serious, go check out Project 24 and we will help you get started.
My camera turned off.
Oh my gosh. Last time we were able to turn it back on.
And it was okay.
And it was okay.